So is the way you were disqualified from parliament and what is happening in Pakistan, do you see any similarities here, and what does that say about politics in the region?
I don't know. I mean, look, as you said, I asked a rhetorical question. I asked the question, why, well, you described it.
Right.
I'm fighting a court case, so I have to be careful. But I asked a rhetorical question. And I'm the first person in India to be given the highest punishment for a defamation case. It's the first case, I'm the first person in Indian history since 1947, right? Nobody has been given the maximum sentence on defamation, and that too on the first offense, right? So that should explain what's going on to you. Mm-hmm. And my disqualification happens quite interestingly after I make a speech about Mr. Adani and Parliament. So you can do the math.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
But you know, my disqualification is not really, it's okay, it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the thousands and thousands of other voices, civil society, government, bureaucracy, who are being frightened into submission. That's much more important to me than my disqualification. Mm-hmm. My disqualification in many ways is an advantage for me.
How so?
Because it opens up completely new spaces for me. You know, it allows me to completely redefine myself. And I think they've given me a gift, frankly. They don't think they realize it, but they have. Politics is not linear. You know, it's like, it can suddenly go off into another direction. It's asymmetric. So I think they've given me a gift. It's not apparent right now, but I think they have.
So you come from a political family. The Gandhis have been compared to the Kennedy family here in the U.S., both in terms of the highest heights and unfortunate assassinations. What keeps you going? What keeps you involved in politics despite what can be great risks?
I defend an idea. I love the people of my country. In particular, the people who are struggling. I have a bias towards them. Mm-hmm. And I completely empathize with their struggle. It disturbs me when I see the pain in India. And I have no choice, because that creates a response, emotional response in me that I can't fight. Mm-hmm. So it's just natural. And also, I've grown up with a sort of narrative about my country, Gandhian narrative, mm-hmm. Of what the country is, what it should look like, what is important. So that's what drives me. Mm-hmm. I'm not concerned really about, you know, threats of violence and assassination and stuff. I mean, everybody's got to die, you know. So, I mean, that's what I learned from my grandmother and my father. Mm-hmm. So, you don't back down because of something like that. Yeah.
Here's a question that just in. India's relationship with Russia has been controversial since the war in Ukraine began. How would Congress administration handle this relationship or the situation in Ukraine differently?
I don't know if you like my answer, but I think similar to how the BJP would or did. We would be responding in a similar way to BJP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we have sort of a a relationship with the Russians that can't be denied. It is there. So I think our policy would broadly be similar.
From your perspective, has the relationship with Russia changed since the war in Ukraine began?
I think in some ways it might have. Yeah, I think it might have changed in some ways. But there is a old historic relationship with the Russians, and we buy weapons from them. So there are also those type of reasons for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think a Congress government would be dramatically different than what the BJP is doing right now in terms of Russia.
Got time for a couple more questions. Let's see.
You've asked a lot, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You've got through a lot.
Stack. There's a lot of interest here in you, sir. You've compared. So I'm going to butcher these names. Please forgive me. You have compared with Guru Nanak Udasis driving your speech in San Francisco, while the SGPC has raised questions on your statement. What would you say to your? Do you know what this is referring to? I'm sorry. I promised you I'd ask. So.
No, I don't know. What is Udasis?
As you compared with Guru Nanak's Bharat Jodo Yatra and SGPC raised questions.
Okay. So.
Sorry. Thank you.
I'll explain it. So I said that the tradition of a yatra or a walk is a very deep tradition in India, and I said that many great people have used this instrument of a walk. Mahatma Gandhi has used it. Guru Nanak has used it, and as an instrument of conversation and as an instrument of understanding. So I think they're saying that I shouldn't compare the Bharat Jodo Yatra to walks that Guru Nanak and Mahatma Gandhi took, but I wasn't doing that. I clearly said that, look, I draw inspiration from these great leaders and what they did, and there's no question of comparing this walk to their walk, but I think they've misunderstood it.
I see.
Yeah.
What is your message to the Indian people as to why they should support Congress in the next election? Is it about economic achievement? Is it about tolerance?
I said in my yatra, I'd say it in Hindi, nafrat ke bazaar mein mohabbat ki dukaan kholo. Do you speak Hindi?
I wish I did.
So nafrat ke bazaar mein mohabbat ki dukaan kholo. In a market of hatred, open a little shop of love and affection. So I believe that India needs to be in harmony. And I believe that India needs to be able to express itself to truly succeed. Right? If you, I don't know of one case where somebody who's angry or somebody who's full of hatred has had an expansive imagination. And India needs an expansive imagination. India needs to dream big.